Hello again. So today I would like to look into an example pop-up window. This one we'll be doing today will be a little bit easier on the memory itself, in the sense that it's not very many pictures, but it's just playing with the program of the PICQ. So what we're gonna do is we'll window to the next window. So this will be the home screen itself. We touch it, and then it'll go into the next window here, transition into it. I've kind of already started it here, but let's look into how do we do it here. Let me see, here it is. So for me, it's 3.5 inch, so it's a 480 by 320. We're going to divide it by 2, so the 480, I'm sorry, divided by 10, because I want it like 10 transitions, 10 windows. So it's a 480, so that would be 48 times 10, so it's 480, so it's 48 this way, 320 this way, divided by 10, so it's 32, and I still want one really small one, and I divided that one by 2, so I ended up with 24 by 16. Also, what we need to do is cut it in half one way and half the other way. So we're looking at 240 by 160, and you'll see why in a little bit here. So our first PICQ is that we're going to do is really small. So we ended up with the 24 by 16. This would be picture number 1. So this would be this picture over here. So how do we end up with these two numbers, 228 by 152? So we're looking at, so it's going to be 240. We're going to start off with the X part. So it's 240. So it's 240, and then we're looking at subtracting. X is 24, so we need to go half that, or else it'll be slightly off. So subtract that by 24, which is 12. It'll be 228. So our X is 228. And our Y is done the same way, so we ended up at 152. So for the Y, we're looking at, the center is 160. And then we're subtracting half of the 16, which was 8. It's going to be 152. So it's going to be like a half and half. Half one time and then half the other time. And then our delay, I've noticed the delay is around, I've used like around 50. I've used 50 and 20. It just depends on how fast you want your transition to happen. Yeah, I found 50 to be kind of a good on the eyes, and 20 a little bit too fast, but not too fast. But anything longer than 50, it seems to be a little too long. So let's look into that here. So if I touch it, it just gives me a little box. So we started off with a little box here. So let's go ahead and work another one. PICQ. Same thing as before. So for this one, we're not going to half this one. This one we're just going to work it as what is it, 24 by 16? Okay, so we're not going to half this one. It's 480, so it'll be 48, and then this by 32, comma 1. And we have to figure out the math for the X and Y here. So that would be, for the X is 240, minus 48 is 24, So it'll be 216. And then comma the y. Now we have to figure out the y. Yeah, lots of math here, but in the long run it comes out pretty clean. So it's 160. And subtract that by 16. 144. And then your delay. It should be 50. So we ended up with 2 boxes now. So I'm going to end up pausing it here and just do a little bit more of the math, and I'll show you the equations in it. Because I'm limited to 15. YouTube only allows me 15 minutes, and not just that, this would be a little bit boring if we just go into the math into it. So at this point I'm just going to go ahead and pause it, and then I'll show you the rest of them here. Okay, so now I'm back and the math was done. I hope you understood the math itself. So we started off very small and it went really large. The last one itself pretty much just goes to page 1. So let's go ahead and have a look at it here. So here's the all the commands, and I left it at 50 for the delay. You can go a little bit faster, depends on how fast you want it. I'm just gonna go ahead and scroll slowly here, so make sure you get the. You can go ahead and copy them. Okay, so let's look into what we have done at this point then. Do keep in mind it's just a simple transition. You could always make this really, really small if you want like a pop-up window. Same concept. So I push this button here. There it is. It just goes from one screen to the next. Let's go ahead and have a look at that again. You touch the screen, and it just populates. That's smooth. It doesn't show too good on here, but it does show better on the screen itself. It shows like a little hesitation there. So, excellent. Hope you found this useful. Go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed yet, please go ahead and subscribe. We will do more videos in the future. Hope to see you then, and you have a wonderful day.